Hello and welcome back. A few days ago I did some VOR to VOR training that you could do yourself. Today we would be practicing some flying techniques to fly an arc around a VOR station, as that might be a good step extra to be able to handle. And today we are again located at Odense Airport, or Hans Christian Andersen Airport, and we want to keep it simple and use the Odin VOR located not 100% straight ahead. As you can see, our instrument is not aligned, and that's also a thing that we would be talking about when we come to flying some NDB, that for this particular airport, that you can't rely on the VOR and the NDB to make some kind of a cheat, because there might be a moment where you think, well, for a given procedure you could just use the VOR and then jump over to the NDB, but that's not a good solution because they are not aligned with the runway, both of them. So keep that in mind. And as a disclaimer, this is no video about how to operate this aircraft. It is purely training of flying given procedures. It is some procedure training for doing things, and this is a bit of a learning on the road, and that's also why we are continuing with the VOR today, even though I actually was testing some NDB yesterday, but then I came back and think it might be good to stay with the VOR and learn you how to do an VOR DME ARC, as that can become handy for some airports. I just open the chart here. That is from Greece, where you can see where you actually have to fly to a given waypoint. In this particular case, you would come in towards the airport at the X-ray Alpha November Alpha Delta, and that's actually where you would start. We would fly to, and then we would have to do this arc, and that's actually what we are going to try to show you how to do today, just in Odense, even though in Odense Airport we don't got any procedure for an VOR approach, as we only got the NDBs, and that's for a later course. So basically what we would do is we would start out here from Odense Airport, runway 06, and we would be flying towards the VOR station, and when we get to a given distance, it doesn't matter which distance you actually choose. I just did this before this demonstration video, and I think I would stay around 6 nautical miles, but it does not matter in this case, as it is only to learn you how to fly a given distance. So that's the important thing, of course. When I first have selected that now I'm gonna fly the 6 nautical miles, I would stay at 6 nautical miles, or that's what we want to try to maintain, that distance from the VOR station, so we would be flying around in a circle. It is not 100% a circle, I have to say, but you get the idea when we start to do it, and hopefully when we land you can see that it's pretty much what is required. So keep that in mind. I just showed you the chart here for showing you how an arc could be shown on an approach. We're not gonna do that, as that would be too technical. This is only to get hang of flying at a given distance from the VOR station, because in fact on the chart here you can actually see at what distance you should be flying from the VOR station, as it is given by a distance of 14 nautical miles from the VOR station. So, and then you should enter the arc, but that is not our main concern now. Now we just try to keep things as simple as possible, so it's just to learn the basic of flying an arc around an VOR station. So you can in fact choose whatever VOR you like to practice this. However, for the training purpose here, and that's always an important thing, keep it simple and don't go or jump in and say now I'm using real world weather and try to do it, because depending on the weather you may succeed, but you may also get into troubles. So keep it simple. So in this case we have set the wind that there is no wind, so there is no drifting of the aircraft, and that would make it easier to do this course, and it is only for demonstration purpose. So bear that in mind, that you can soon enough get things to be tricky enough. So let's try this out. Gonna release the brakes, and we then want to fly out of here, away from Odense Airport towards the Odin VOR. And I got the needle set up for the Odin VOR at the moment, so we can get a track of where we are. And I will get back in a moment with what instrument you would need to use for this training. And also I should say a disclaimer about the instrument layout here in this aircraft. It might be vary how your instruments are working, because this is an easy setup that visually gives you a reference of where the points are, where there are some older aircraft where you have some fixed, and it's you turning around, and you really have to have the knowledge about where you are, the vicinity. So that's also a reason why I choose this aircraft, as you hopefully got a visual reference of where we are going and what we are doing. That's my main purpose here, to try to learn you, because that might be easier when you learn this and then you can jump over to the older style aircraft, even though I would guess many flight schools actually would start off by doing some of the other stuff. But it depends on what aircraft type you are flying. But for now, we are aiming at an altitude of 2,000 feet, so we are there in a moment, and then we would switch on the autopilot, as that also can help you first learn how to fly the procedure that you can start flying, hand fly it. I can hand fly it. I actually did it for the NDB and such, and I also think I would do it for the NDB, but for the purpose of this session here, I just think we stay with the help of the autopilot. And I should also say that I am pretty new to this joystick that I only got a few days now. But the instrument we are going to use is actually over here. We got the distance from the VOR DME ARC, and we are at 8 nautical miles from it right now, so I would slow down a bit so we can get a little bit slower here. And now you see we get close to 6 nautical miles, so I would start the turn in a minute here. I think now would be appropriate to do a 90-degree turn or so. Let's see how the needle goes. And this was, as I say, why we did not have a DME set given distance, as it may vary depending on when you start the turn and what your speed is and all that. But right now we have started our turn around the VOR station, and what we want to do is actually get this needle down to the 9 o'clock position. When it gets to 9 o'clock position, I would actually turn the aircraft towards the VOR by adding around 10 degrees at a time. The reason for this is that then we should be flying kind of not 100% circle, but close to. So let's start by turning it to 120 degrees, because then it would be easier for us to turn it the 10 degrees at a time. And it starts to go a bit fast, as 10 degrees is not much when you're flying this, but now I'm just keep a track of where the VOR station is, and every time we got the needles down to the 9 o'clock position, I know we have a 90 degrees towards the VOR station. So, and you can see now we are still 6 nautical miles, and that's our target, 6 nautical miles from the VOR station. So we are pretty good at the moment, as we should be. And now I can start talking a bit about the drifting. If you then turn on the wind, then you have to check all the time that you are within the distance, or should I say it's more important at that point, because right now, well, See there, I got a bit slow there. And that's actually not a big problem at the moment, but if we got some wind that would get us drifting, we might get closer or further away, and then it's very important that you start correcting. And then if you get a lower nautical miles, well, then you know you're getting too close to the VR station, so you have to keep a bit longer time on a given heading. Then it would start to get you a bit further out again, and then you can adjust again when you the 10 degrees you can adjust again when you reaches the distance you wanted to be at. And the other way around, if you get too far out, well, then make a bit of a faster correction, so you turn more in towards the VR station. But right now we are doing okay. I won't say perfect, because as you can see I get a bit behind, and it's because I'm talking, and that's also why I tend to use the autopilot here, because it is very important that you stay ahead of the aircraft. That is so damn important, and you can quickly get behind. But we are doing pretty well at the moment. Of course, now we are only at the 6 nautical miles. If I go down and say the digits as well, then we might get another picture about how good I'm doing, because then it might be jumping a bit around. I could actually do that if I can do it quick here. And VOR station 6.3 nautical miles, you can see. That gives us a bit more accurate distance than this instrument, but normally the charts only publish 7, 5 or 8 nautical miles, so there are always a bit of correction there. Now you can actually see we got 6.2, 6.3. It corrected itself again, so it seems that we are doing pretty well right now. Pretty well now. And if I wanted, as I said, to get it closer, well, then I may just turn it a bit quicker before we are hitting the 9 o'clock position, and see, there we go. Now we are 6.2 nautical miles in. So that would get me a bit closer, and we can get even closer again. We want to get it down to 6.0. That might get us closer to it. So now I'm sticking a bit ahead of the 9 position clock, and you can see that I actually get further out now from the VOR station. Not further out, closer to, sorry. Sometimes I talk too quickly. now we are at 6.0 nautical miles. And then I can show you that if we get too close, well, as said, I just let the needle pass the 9 o'clock position on my instrument, so we get a bit further out. And there we go. You now get further out. So that's pretty much how you can do it. And now we are on the heading for the ILS, but it is not the ILS we are actually tracking at the moment. Now we cross the heading towards the VOR station. Let's get a bit closer to the VOR station again here. Flying out here, and then we have been flying around, and we are right now here according to our flight. So we seems to be doing quite okay at the moment. And we are back to the 6 nautical miles distance. Back to 6.1. So as you can see, that's how you can turn. So if you want to get closer to the VOR station, well then turn a bit before 9 o'clock position. If you want to get a bit further out, then wait a bit and you would get further out. So that's basically how you do it. That's how you do an VOR DME ARC, and also you can see why it's called a VOR DME ARC, because we are flying an ARC and we are flying around a VOR station at a given distance by the DME. So it is quite logic. Quite logic why it is named as it is. And now it might seem easy enough, but you actually see how often I correct it. Then try to imagine that you are flying an airliner. This procedure would be pretty tricky as things are happening faster because you actually are flying at a higher speed. something to keep in mind. And now we're actually flying back towards the heading of the runway, nearly. Now we just have to get back to the airport and try to land it. And that would actually be the end of this session. By now, as right now we have actually shown how to do this arc, as now I would show you how it looks at the map. As if we just continued, we would have a circle. It's not 100% like a circle, but as you can see, it is pretty close to. So I hope that gives an good idea of how to do this kind of maneuver. But also it's a learning curve towards our next lesson that I believe would be some NDB flying. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed this small demonstration and that it gave you some information of how you can do this and how you can actually practice it yourself and how to do such. It is pretty straightforward if you just set no wind and in the first place try to fly it by the autopilot. But that's how I did it here, but it was only for the purpose of showing you and giving me some time to talk about it. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you again soon in one of my hopefully upcoming videos. Bye bye.